Let's start with really uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fail because they don't study. Every single day, millions of people, they watch tutorials, they read the articles, and they walk away absolutely convinced that they get it when they really don't. No, they fail because they think they have understood, and that right there, that's an illusion. It's this quite invisible barrier that actually the biggest thing standing in the way of real learning. So, what if you had a tool that wasn't designed to help you understand the study, but to absolutely shatter that illusion? Instead of explaining this in theory, let me show you what it does look like in practice. First, we are installing the LearnLock from Python package. Then we are initializing the API keys for LearnLock here. Then launching the LearnLock CLI. Let's see how many commands do we have with the help command. We can also see the configuration of the CLI with config command. We can also even clear chats with the /clear command. The pipeline for LearnLock is first we are ingesting a source, for example, a YouTube tutorial. It starts fetching content, and also we can use a PDF or even a GitHub repository. It extracts concepts from it, and we are shown with the list of concepts extracted from the video. Then we are moving on to the list section to check the lists of the concepts that is just been added right now. Then we can also see the due with the due command option. Then all these things are just added and all these are due right now. Then let's start studying with the LearnLock. The first dual session begins. What you're looking right now is not a scripted demo. This is an adversarial learning, which is questioning me in real time. The concepts that you saw earlier are actually not questions. These are claims extracted directly from the source material. Each one is something my explanation could validate. Now, first claim appears. Instead of multiple choice, LearnLock forces me to explain what I believe. That's how it gets my real mental model. I have pasted the answer here from generated. I generated it using AI, and after it graded me, my beliefs are getting modeled. I can also see the review of this concept at a particular timestamp given right here. To continue with the study session, we need to continue using enter. Now, this question, the second claim comes with the questions, information, and the interrogation part begins for us. I paste another answer that is also pasted from the AI to save time. Now, the final dual engine system comes with the HUD updates, claims, beliefs, and errors. The panel shows what I currently believe, which claim I violated, and why I am being challenged. LearnLock is not trying to help me. It is trying to corner me into either providing understanding or exposing that I don't. Now, after pasting the final answer, we enter into the stage where the grading begins. This is the main reveal. LearnLock shows how my belief evolved and which claims I failed. These are not vague mistakes. These are cognitive error. My score reflects how defensible my understanding was. And also we can see the stats using the stats command. That was LearnLock for you, the app that literally argues with you. To really get why something like LearnLock even needs to exist, we have to face a pretty hard truth about how we'll actually learn. We have got to talk about this illusion of understanding. Just look at the difference here. One side, you have got your traditional tools, quizzes, flashcards, the usual stuff. They're good for one thing and one thing only, checking if you memorized a fact. It's all about recall and repetition, but that's not the real understanding is it? True understanding is being able to different what you know, to explain a concept from scratch, and to survive when someone directly challenges your belief. And that's the whole point, right? Knowing the words isn't the same as knowing the concepts. It's not even close. You can recite a definition word for word and still have zero clue about it actually works in the real world. And that gap, that's where everything falls apart. So that brings us to a pretty radical new idea. What if, instead of a friendly tutor, you had an interrogator, an AI that was built for the sole purpose of finding that gap in your knowledge and just prying it wide open? That is LearnLock. It's an adversarial AI. Its whole mission is to interrogate what you think you know. It actively hunts for the weaknesses in your understanding, and then it forces you to fix them through these really smart targeted challenges. Let's be crystal clear about this. This thing does not tutor you. It cross-examines you. It literally puts your understanding onto witness stand and grills you until it either breaks or it proves that that's a rock solid. And this gets to a very heart of how it thinks. A normal app just asks, hey, do you know X? Simple. LearnLock asks a completely different question. It asks, what do you believe about X? And where specifically is that belief wrong? That's a huge shift from just testing your memory to actually pressure testing your mental model of the world. Okay, so in the world, does it actually do that? Let's dive into the guts of the system inside the dual engine and see how systematically it takes apart what you believe. For you, the process is actually pretty straightforward. First, you feed it a source, could be anything, YouTube video, PDF, a GitHub repo maybe. The system just ingests it. Step two, the dual. You try to explain a concept from that source, and the engine immediately horns in to the weakest link in your argument and then attacks. And finally, the reveal. You get this incredible breakdown of your belief trajectory, showing you exactly where you were right and where your understanding just completely crumbled. Now, what's happening under the hood is kind of wild. It starts with belief modeling. It figures out what you're actually thinking based on how you explain things. Then it runs contradiction detection, comparing your model to the actual facts from the source. The second it finds the flaw, bam, it launches a targeted interrogation. And with every single answer you give, it takes another belief trajectory snapshot to track your how your understanding is changing. And look, this thing isn't just looking for right versus wrong. Oh no, it's been trained to spot very specific kinds of failure. Did you get the mechanism wrong? Did you leave out a critical piece? Do you not understand the limits of the concept, a boundary error? Are you mixing up two different ideas? Or let's just be honest, is your explanation just superficial? The engine knows the difference and it will call you out. I know this sounds incredibly intense, but that intensity is exactly what you need to finally get beyond just memorizing things. So, why does this all matter? Why go through this? Because the huge payoff. First off, it kills that false confidence we talked about at the very beginning. It makes those useless memorized tutorials totally obsolete. What you're left with is knowledge that is genius defensible, the kind you actually need for a tough job interview or a big exam. And as a bonus, it even has SAM, two spaced repetition built in, which is just a fancy way of saying intelligently reminding you of things before you're about to forget them. So, what you learn, you actually keep. And probably the best part, you can use them right now. LearnLock is live. It's completely open source and you can install it with just one command. And also for documentation, you can visit the learnlock.versal.app for guide. And it's ready to challenge every single thing think you actually know. So I will leave you with this thought maybe. It's time we change the goal entirely. It's time to stop studying and start proving. Thank you.